All right, today we're doing something a little different. We are stepping right into the mind of a murderer. We're going to explore this incredible, chilling tale of obsession, a perfectly planned crime, and the kind of psychological torment that proves, well, that guilt can be its own worst enemy. Let's get into it.
I mean, what an opening line, right? The story just grabs you from the get-go. Our narrator immediately starts pleading his case. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm nervous, but mad? No way. And just like that, the central question of the entire story is laid out. Is this guy a cunning genius, or is he completely off his rocker? He's about to present his evidence, and guess what? We're the jury.
So you have to wonder what kind of mind dreams up a character this unforgettable and, frankly, this terrifying. To really get the story, you first have to get the guy who wrote it. So let's pull back the curtain on the author himself.
Edgar Allan Poe. Take a look at those dates. Born in 1809, gone by 1849. His life was short, only 40 years, and it was just steeped in tragedy. And you can really feel that darkness fueling his genius. But despite all the struggle, his impact was absolutely massive. Works like The Raven made him a household name, and his legacy was sealed long after his mysterious death.
And what's so fascinating is that he was so much more than just a horror writer. I mean, Poe is basically credited with inventing the modern short story as we know it. He created the first fictional detective, C. Auguste Dupin, which kind of makes him the father of the entire detective genre. He was writing sci-fi before it was even a thing. The guy wasn't just a writer, he was a true literary pioneer.
Okay, so let's jump back into the story and see how this master of suspense actually builds the terror. We're going to get into the narrator's head and really look at the strange, singular obsession that pushes him over the edge. And here it is, the heart of his madness. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about revenge. In fact, the narrator claims he loved the old man. No, his motive was something way more chilling, way more irrational. It was this fixation on the man's pale blue eye, what he calls the vulture eye. To him, that eye was pure evil, and he just had to get rid of it.
And this is how he tries to prove he's sane. He details his whole meticulous process. For 7 straight nights, he performs this creepy ritual. He opens the door oh so gently. He moves his head oh so slowly. And then, super carefully, he opens his lantern just enough to let a single tiny ray of light fall right onto that evil eye.
This is his whole argument. Right here, he's asking us directly, would a madman be this smart, this patient, this careful? He's so proud of how clever he is. It's this twisted logic that just pulls you in and makes you question everything you think you know about sanity.
So on the 8th night, it happens. The old man is gone. But believe it or not, the murder is only the beginning of our narrator's real horror story. Now we get to see how his perfect crime begins to unravel, not from the outside, but from deep within his own mind.
Okay, so he's just hidden the body, he thinks he's gotten away with it, he's totally safe, and then there's a knock at the door. It's 3 police officers. A neighbor heard a scream. This is it, the moment of truth. The pressure is officially on.
But is he panicking? Not a chance. He is completely confident. Cheerful even. He gives the officers a grand tour of the house, tells them, hey, search wherever you want. And then, in this incredible act of pure arrogance, he brings chairs into the old man's room and puts his own chair right on top of the floorboards, hiding the body.
So, as he's just sitting there, chatting with the officers, he starts to hear something. It's faint. He calls it a low, dull, quick sound, like a watch enveloped in cotton. At first, he just tries to ignore it, hoping it'll just go away.
But it doesn't. The sound just keeps getting louder. So he starts talking more, trying to drown it out with his own voice. But it only gets stronger, more distinct. And the police, well, they don't hear a thing. They're just smiling and chatting, completely oblivious.
Now, he's totally losing his cool. He's pacing the room, waving his arms around. He even starts scraping his chair against the floorboards, anything to create another noise to overpower the one that's only in his head.
It's unbearable. The sound is just overwhelming. And in his paranoia, he's convinced the officers know. He thinks they can hear it too, and their smiles are just pure mockery. He feels like he's going to scream or die.
And then he just snaps. He can't take it anymore, and he shrieks out his confession. But here's the thing. Was it really the old man's heart he heard beating under the floor? No. It was the frantic, pounding pulse of his own heart,
a telltale rhythm of a guilt he just couldn't escape.
So why does this story, written almost 200 years ago, still have such a hold on us? I mean, why are we still listening? Let's zoom out a bit and talk about Poe's incredible, lasting legacy.
I think Poe's true genius was his uncanny ability to tap into our most basic human anxieties. The paranoia, the guilt, the dread of being discovered, the terror of losing control of your own mind. We get that. He holds up a mirror to the darkness that, let's be honest, can exist in all of us.
And that universal appeal is why his work is, well, it's everywhere. We're talking film versions since 1928, famous adaptations by legendary directors, and just countless references in pop culture, from horror movies to even The Simpsons. You really can't escape Poe's influence.
When you get down to it, The Telltale Heart is way more than just a spooky story. It's this timeless look at the fragile line between sanity and madness, and it's a terrifying reminder of how guilt can literally become a physical thing. So I'll leave you with this question. Poe was a master at showing us the darkness in his characters, but what does our fascination with that darkness reveal about ourselves?